Old spoon. Back in the spot. 58, 59. We'll dig it. Sort of a winding mechanism. A beautiful morning. The shoals. Here comes the sun. Still chilly though. The good stuff. Another casing. My coil. 57. We'll go after it. Hold on. We got the target. It's a blacker one. Ooh, that's got a date. Sweet. I love these coins. Got one last night down on the other end. It's really giving on both ends right now. Here she is. Ah, the seagull's laughing. They're all laughing at me. They said, haha, no gold. Soft spot here. Got the nip buffalo. Got another deep one. It's almost like a layer like light moss, light peat, and it sinks for maybe 6-8 inches. Then you hit gravel. The last signal was a high chirp, but it ended up being iron. But in saltwater hunting, the theory of it is target travel, and you get a greater target travel than, say, you're hunting a freshwater lake. You know, a freshwater lake, targets do sink, but no, you don't have the sink rate of wet sand beach metal detecting on ocean beaches due to tides and weather conditions, where that piece of jewelry or coin just constantly moves down. And then it sits in these layers. And you get target travel here, back and forth, in between the rocks. But nothing of any weight comes flying out of the surf. It's basically relatively confined to a small area. That's how you get these thin coins, because they'll sometimes move back and forth between the rocks. You get the aluminum balls that everybody thinks they have silver. That's just aluminum cans that have done the same thing. Erosion point 2 and erosion point 1, and that's why we got the bottle down there yesterday, the gold ring over here, 3 or 4 marks. Up top we did good the other day, but we're waiting to try to get some erosion on that top layer again. That was just sticking out. We'll take that out of here. Nobody needs to step on that. Ouch. Seagulls are laughing again. Got a nice 58 here. 41. We're gonna celebrate. I see it. 60. 61. 63. 61. Now come on. Let's be something good. And it ain't no rent, it ain't no coin. Oh, look at this one. Oh, another from another mother. That's a pretty one. Sweet. We're gonna circle the area. The seagulls aren't laughing, they're pissed now. I got gold. I knew it. I saw Jesus yesterday. Whenever I find Jesus, gold shows up afterwards. 59, 58. I got those 2 big silvers yesterday. Should have come here first. I was pussyfooting around on the other side of the beach. Let's dig it. We're in a gold hole. We're in a gold hole, I should have known. Oh, Oh, look at this. Is that gold? Or is it brass? Looks like a letter H. No, that's a crap ball ring. Look at that. Oh, that sounded so good. You don't want to know. Nice. It wasn't very deep either. You can see this. The XP loves little pieces. Look at that copper nail. That would drive you nuts. Pick that rock out. If that coil is bumping into a rock and there's a target over rock, especially if it's some small one, because you want to get a wide swing. Look, you see these people on YouTube and they're claiming to have all these gimmicks where they're doing this down a fence line. You can't do that. It's a motion machine. You got to get an accurate signal. You got to take this coil and go back and forth. You just look at the faro check on that Legend. You got to swing it all the way for that faro check to be accurate. Get back down on that end. Take a look. There's a little break in that sandbar, but I want to hit pirates. Maybe tomorrow. It's just been so good here. What a beautiful day again. Nice 95. A little more irony. You got to kind of go in between the patch. Hit this. It's kind of rocky in there too. You can see all the rocks. 92. Whoa. Let's dig it. Good sound here. Probably you can hear it. Let's see. 92. I walked it into shore. I got one of those floating sifter baskets. Ooh, do we got a silver? Certainly looks it. Definitely sounded it. Let's see. Yep. That's a funny looking one. That's a Merc. Ooh, we're gonna get a date on that one. Sweet. Sweet. Commingled lobster pots up here. Some iron. There was a big iron spike out there. I should have picked it up. I got the pipe out of there, the other side. But you get commingled targets, so I like to come in at different angles. I don't have the small coil for this. I come in at different angles. See if I can't snipe a piece off the side. That corner tonight again. We'll come back later. I gotta get a sandwich tonight. What an angle. Gonna go home and check out the Ventusky site for some weather. I also want to check the beach up. It still looks good, but nothing yet. We'll keep you informed. Thing I always wanted to tell everybody, and let me dust this off. When you leave the beach, like I say, I try to take as much trash. I brought the piece of glass with me. We'll put that in the wrap up. I don't want somebody stepping on that. That's a hospital day. But when you leave the beach, make sure you put your detector in the car. I know Jason drove off the other day and he almost left his Manticore in the parking lot. So I've done it. I drove off one time. I was at a school way back in the 90s and I had one of those nice $50 gator diggers. And I went back, it had the orange handle. I went back the next day, it was gone. So you leave stuff, but always remember to put your detector in there. That would be a shitty day. Right, here's the wrap-up video for today. The lighting in here isn't the greatest. It's late at night. I just have been doing so many videos that I'm trying to get caught up. I went out tonight. This is not anything to do with this video we're filming now. And I got another absolute blockbuster. So now I got to put that video together. So, and it's probably not enough, so I'll have to go back and do some chit-chatting. It's tough getting content. It's funny too how it happens, and usually you find something good when you least expect it. So, but today's hunt was actually not too bad. Got there early, was fooling around with some stuff. Was going to hit the other side and I didn't, and I probably should have. But I did get back into this area that's really gotten rocky. Starting to give some great rings, and tonight Like I say, it's not on this video, but tonight I got a really nice one, and I mean really nice. So, but these are nice too. I mean, this ring here, it's just a cheapo. It's got an H on there. It's probably brass, copper, so nothing great. Got this big piece of glass. Took that off. A little piece of old wire, old house wire, with the insulation still on it. I thought this was going to be really good because it came up where a gold ring would. And it seems to be a brass winding, maybe to a watch or a clock. Got a small copper nail, 22 shell casings, lots of bullets and casings on this beach now. Kind of try to dig out as much as I can. Sometimes you can't get the smaller bullets. Got a beat up spoon. I think we get a spoon every trip, sometimes 2 or 3. That aside, I did get a sweet 1927 Buffalo. I can just make the date out. No mint mark. That's blacker. I got a 1943 Mercury dime. So that's a cool coin. Another silver. Just killed it. We're 150, over 150 silvers. We've just killed it the last few months. I mean, it has just been awesome. I got fooled with this little piece. I actually thought it was a gold pendant. And I started to film it, and I was like, yeah. Then I looked down, the sun was shining, and it was just beaming gold in it. Little piece of aluminum. So, took that off. Not digging a lot of trash, though. That was higher up on the beach, too. Not digging a lot of trash, and that's good. I don't want to dig a whole bunch of coins, a whole bunch of trash. I want to dig jewelry, and that's what's happened now. This is all heavy stuff, deep down in the beach layers. And when you're hunting these spots, I even run a threshold. I did tonight. I took the D2, and I watch a lot of detector comparisons. He's excellent, very smart detectorist, knowledgeable. I actually met him too, great guy, and he's right about the audio response. I brought mine up, and it's bringing these deeper targets through clearer, through your headphones. And I love the bone inductions because they actually rattle you. They rattle your ears if you're out there and you're swinging for... Because this isn't constant. You're fishing for these things. So you can go 20, 30 minutes without a target sometimes. And you can sometimes get into a lull, and that thing will wake you up. Those bone conductions shake you. So that's super. But you got to dig the signals there. It's almost like a tone break. And what I'll do is sometimes I'll turn that threshold up on the XP2 and just listen for breaks in that steady hum of a threshold. You get the and then you get a little break, and I'll actually dig those. So you're really just digging targets. They're fringe targets on the very fringe of detection, and you'll dig 7, 8 big shovelfuls. Sometimes I'll even walk it in if I'm using a shovel out there. I'll dig the target in the water and actually walk it in. The CKG scoop, I'm afraid, is going to break because I'm digging such deep holes. And I'll walk the target back to the beach and actually just pull it out of the sand. So you probably saw some of that tonight. But I did get a 10 carat, and it has a D on the front. 1945. I think this might be Dover High School. It does say high school, but I can't see anywhere it says Dover. It is 10 karat gold. It's a nice gold ring. So we got another gold today, and what a hunt, you know. And like I say, stay tuned because the next hunt's going to be even better. So what a year it's been. It's just 2 months because we got into this the end of June. It's now the beginning of September. So just over 2 months. Is just, I can't even tell you, it's blown it away. We've come back. So and detector wise, I've been using the D2. Gonna use the Legend. I know Mine Lab sued Nokta. I was reading a lot of stuff online about that. I know there's a lot of people that just don't like Mine Lab. I don't know what it is. I mean, Mine Lab's gotta be the most hated company, but I don't want to say this in any wrong way. I know there's a lot of Garrett people
and I don't know what it is. They're very ugly about this, and I look at it differently. I think MindLab really brought a lot of stuff to the game, and I think a lot of people aren't giving MindLab the credit they deserve. Let's be honest for a minute. MindLab created the double decoil. MindLab brought BBS technology. MindLab brought FBS technology. MindLab brought multi-IQ technology. MindLab, they brought the Equinox. The Nocta is a Equinox. And let's be honest, I mean, I'm not siding with MindLab. I'm just telling you how it is. If you take the Nocta Legend and you put it side by side to an Equinox 8 or 900, it's the same machine. And if I bet you, if I took that Legend apart, you'd have pretty much the same chipset and everything else. So let's give MindLab some credit here. They've really, over the years, they were always light years ahead. When they came out with that Excalibur in the 90s, the original sword machine, I knew a guy down here at Hampton Beach. His name was Howie, and he used to get 80 gold rings a summer out there, easy. That sword was it still is today. It is a deadly machine. And it started there. It moved on to the Sovereigns. The Explorers are still probably the most highly regarded machines. The E-Tracks were just awesome. Yet I read all these forums and I don't know, I don't get it. What's going on with all this hate? It's like, really? And a lot of the people, I read this stuff and I chuckle. A lot of the people who use the MindLabs and then they say bad things, I don't even think they studied the machine. You know, you got to learn your machine, whether it's a Radio Shack, a $100 Radio Shack, a $300 mid-range, or a $500 mid-range, or a $2,500 CTX. You know, the CTX, it was, I think a lot of the problems were user error, and I hate to say it. You know, people don't want to learn their machines, you know, and that's what happens. And I mean, I'm going through 2-3 machines, and I have a little experience in them, so I know I can set them up correctly. But a lot of people, and I hate to say it, I'm not trying to be funny or mean, I think a lot of people didn't really, you know, study their machine, and they expect some sort of instant gratification, you know. The machine is great to have a top-tier machine, but the two key metrics is learning the machine and then putting yourself into a place where you're going to get finds like this by being able to read the beach. It's not just buying a machine and watching 2 or 3 YouTube videos and then thinking you're an expert. It takes a little bit more knowledge, and it takes patience, you know? So, but I don't get the hate. I'm sorry. I have to side with MindLab. I mean, they're a great company. You know, I still think they're the top of the game right now, and I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how the lawsuit gets settled, but it's copyright infringement on MindLab products. So, and they were, let's be honest, they were the developers of a lot of this stuff we have today, and we need to be thankful. And I think people, they get on there and they're like, oh, I can go get a $200 or $300 machine and it's just as good. Maybe it is. Maybe it's just as good for you, but I think you should be a little thankful, because you wouldn't have that technology in your hand if it wasn't for MindLab metal detectors. They were the ones that had the engineers, the integrity. They went after it. They tried groundbreaking stuff, and it actually worked, especially for us saltwater hunters. Maybe not so much for land or freshwater, but for saltwater, mineralized hunting, MindLab was top of the game. So, want to thank everybody for watching, and that's my rant for tonight. I'm full of rants this week, so stay tuned, and we'll post that next video. A very interesting find. I think you'll enjoy it. Really cool looking. So thanks again, and stay tuned.